All right, in front of you, you can see the assessment for this week. Remember, we were studying two excerpts from two different texts, both written by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Now, the first text was Little House on the Prairie, which is based off of the first five questions are based off of that text, and then the questions 6 through 10 are based off of the text from the Shore of Silver Lake assessment. So if you need help with the reading of the questions, feel free to follow along with me and mark your answers as we go. Which sentence from the story Little House on the Prairie contains descriptions that appeal most to the reader's sense of touch? So, as you're reading these answers, which one of these helps you be able to feel it as well? Which sentence states the main theme of the story, Little House on the Prairie? Is it sharing ideas and information with others can be helpful? Some people work more than others. It is often possible to overcome your fears, or when we work together, we can accomplish more things. Now, this chart below shows events from Little House on the Prairie. Which of the following events here can be filled in to complete this chart? So we're starting with Pa's plowing the field when he notices a prairie fire. So what does he do next? Does Pa bring the animals to safety? Do the girls help Ma with dinner? Does Ma tell the girls that the backfire saved them? Or does Ma think that a storm is coming? Now, in paragraph 15, what does the word horribly mean when they're referring to the animals crying? It says Jack howled. Bunny and Pet and Patty were jerking at the ropes and squealing horribly. Does this mean that it was happening in a bad way, in a very happy way, in a very sad way, or in a very surprised way? Pa's interaction with Ma shows that they don't get along, work great as a team, are scared of the animals, or that they started the fire. Now, our next question is asking what the antonym of terribly is, and that you can go back to paragraph 5. Now, we already know that a synonym is another word that means the same thing. So, antonym would be the opposite. So, what is the antonym of terribly? Is it awful, frightfully, desperately, or calmly? In paragraph 10, why is Carrie upset with Laura? Is it because Laura was the one that lost Grace? Laura wants to stay with Mary. Laura doesn't go looking for Grace, or Carrie doesn't want to leave the house. How is paragraph 19 important to the story's plot? Go back and read paragraph 19. Is it because it introduces the main character? It introduces the problem to the story. It shows the resolution to the story, or it gives clues about Laura's feelings. Here we have some sentences from paragraph 19. These sentences help the reader know that Grace was scared, wasn't scared, was surprised, or was sad. We have a dictionary entry for the word disturb. Which meaning best matches the way the word disturbed is used in paragraph 20? Meaning 1, meaning 2, 3, or 4. And by the time you actually are seeing this test, I will have paragraph 20 inserted here as well. All right, the team played horribly after their best player was injured. Choose the word that has about the same meaning as the underlined word. Bravely, cheerfully, awfully, or quietly. Which word means about the same as furious? The fire was furious when the firefighters arrived. Flickering, intense, dying, or warm. Insisted, which word means the same meaning as this underlined word. He insisted that he would carry his own backpack. Asked, demanded, questioned, or refused. The audience thought the movie ended terribly, which word means about the same as terribly, badly, slowly, happily, or hurriedly. Finally, which word is a synonym? Again, meaning the same as disturbed. Nothing in the backyard was disturbed during the storm. Does disturbed mean moved, defeated, encouraged, or scared? Now, to wrap up this assessment, we have 2 selections here. I'm going to read each of these selections for you and then read each question aloud. Isla on the farm. Isla lived on a farm in Scotland in the 1600s and was the youngest person in her family. Since Isla was so young, she wasn't allowed to do anything important. Isla found her mother and asked her, "May I help you make the bread?" Her mother said, "Not yet, Isla. You're too little." Isla found her father and asked, "Father, may I help you?" Her father smiled and said, "When you get a little older, you can help." Isla asked her sister if she could help feed the sheep. Her sister laughed and said, "You're too little." Isla was walking back to the house when she heard a cry. She found an escaped lamb behind a bush, so she took a long flower and held it out to the lamb, and it came closer. The lamb followed Isla and the flower back to the house. "Good job, Isla," her mother said. "How about tomorrow you help me mix bread dough?" Kyra and the cave. Kyra and her father lived in a small Scottish village by the sea. One day she asked her father about an island that she could see from the shore. "It's called Staffa," he explained. "That's where the Fingal's cave is." Kyra asked her father to take her there. The next morning they took a small boat to Staffa. When they rode into the cave, it was dark and cool with high ceilings. Kyra noticed rocks that looked like tall columns. "Wow," exclaimed Kyra. Her voice echoed throughout the cave. "Fingal's cave sounds like it's singing back to us. We should call this cave Yon Bin, the Cave of Melody." What is the main theme of Isla on the farm? To be thankful for what you have. Everyone can help in some way. Sometimes you're too little to help, or if you have more than you need, you should give it to others. Isla and Kira would most likely agree that exploring caves is fun, working on the farm can be hard, getting to do new things is exciting, being the youngest in the family is difficult. Finally, in both selections, the reader can conclude that the main character is happy at the end of the story, would rather live in a different place, is discouraged at the end of the story, or will go on boat trips with her father more often. Make sure you utilize the resources provided for you. Go back to that text to find your answers. Let me know if you need any help. Good luck.